What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So what we're doing now is talking about the LG C7 versus the Sony X900E. So the LG C7 is at the top and the Sony X900E is at the bottom. So what I'm doing now is just showing you this so that you can kind of make up your own decision as to which one is better for you and which one is not. Now, what you are seeing at the top is that ABL I talk so aggressively about on OLED, where it dims the screen down dramatically compared to the Sony X900E. And anytime there's going to be a bright scene in really anything, you're going to have a better experience on LED. Now, OLED's black levels are a thing of legend. The Sony X900E looks gray by comparison, but at the end of the day, the warm tones, the colors are all more vibrant on the Sony X900E. You're getting the brightness really is making the difference here, where combined with that full array local dimming, you're getting contrast that exceeds OLED. I have an OLED here, and OLED does not give a picture that looks like this. And that's the problem that I have with OLED, is where, you're paying this markup. Here I have the C7 that cost me $1,818 after taxes. And, I have contrast on this Sony X900E that rivals OLED and beats it in a lot of scenes. Now, again, black level wise, I'm not coming close to my C7. My C7's blowing the Sony X900E out of the water with black levels. And again, that's one of the things I talk about aggressively. Because if you understand those differences as to what the two technologies offer, then you can kind of put together, your list of things that you're looking for in a TV. Me personally, seems like this, where it dims down to 140 nits on the C7, that's just not good. This is OLED's biggest flaw, is that generally, brighter scenes look dim like this. And, the colors are not as great as I would like them to be compared to Sony, where on your end, it looks oversaturated. But on my end, there's a world of difference between the colors and brightness that I am getting on the Sony X900E. And even in the darkest scenes, that full array local dimming is doing a damn good job. And again, you're not going to notice, because when you have such a level of brightness, that level of brightness is giving you I guess, numbing effect, where you don't really notice the flaws in the black level as readily as you would if you were to do this side-by-side comparison like I'm doing. Again, that brightness is that contrast, and it is a part of it, and it does matter. So to only have black levels isn't all you need. You do need more than that, and that's what I mean. Now, with that said, the LG C7 is leagues above the LG B7, where the B7 couldn't even manage to hold its own against the Sony X900E at all, last time I checked anyway, and I did it multiple times. But the C7, it still has ABL, but color-wise, it's a lot better in a lot of aspects than the B7. So yeah, I am pretty impressed with what the C7 can do. Motion processing is better on the C7. Color gradations are better on the C7. It does a better job. It is a better TV. It is the step-up model, and I do see a difference. Is it worth the markup? I don't know about that, but I definitely can see a tangible difference. So what we'll do now is we'll just go over to a different demo, right? And just show you guys more examples of what I notice versus, what you're actually going to take away. This is an OLED demo for the A1E, and I'm running this demo on the the C7, to show you guys what you can kind of take away from it. Now, upon first value and first looks, there's far more detail on the C7, and in scenes like this, at the top, the colors pop way more on the C7. This has a lot to do with the engineers at Sony understanding very well what would make an OLED look good. I mean, you're talking about lens to living room. They know what would make a certain product work, and they do their video editing accordingly. Again, these demos that we're watching are put in post-production for the specific television they were made for. So again, it is going to look better on an OLED than it would on an LED, because it was designed for an OLED. And again, this demo is doing a great job of showing a lot of the differences between the color differences, the black levels, but again, it's that brightness of the Sony X900E that is really doing a great job. Now, as far as colors go, the colors are better in this particular demo on the OLED, and I don't think that's by accident at all, considering Sony and LG are working together, and they already have the synergy where LG will make the panel and Sony will make the software. So that's something, again, you guys kind of have to think about. Now, we're going to go to something that wasn't made by Sony, and let's see what the difference will be. I can instantly tell you, just off the bat, contrast is far deeper on the Sony X900E than it is on the OLED in this particular demo. So I guess in essence, it really just depends on what you watch. But all in all, man, they're both great for what they do. It's just the Sony X900E has the pop, has the brightness to go behind it, has those colors that will make you say, wow, like in this scene, this is what it looks like. I don't have to fabricate results because, again, here's the C7. I can more than afford to keep it. I'll keep it, hold on to it, you know, whatever. This is my C7, so for those thinking this is just a review C7, it's not. I don't do review products. I don't get those sent to me. I buy everything. So this is my television. I do own an OLED now, and I've got to say, man, you know, comparing the two, I do like what OLED has to offer. Like, the promise of OLED is nice. Like, I like the colors. I like the deep, perfect black levels, but I also don't like the black crush. Now, I've been able to mitigate that a bit, but again, it's that lack of color in scenes like this when it gets really, really bright that you're gonna notice the biggest amount of difference between the OLED and something like the Sony X900E. This is what you're missing out on when you make the move to OLED as a high-end customer. You're missing that pop in every scene and consistent levels of brightness. It's been a reoccurring theme, and I've been repeating myself through this video to a degree, but there's a big difference, and I don't think people are really taking it seriously. They're just kind of writing it off as like, well, you know, OLED's the best, but it really is not the best. It's good, and, you know, that's great, but the Sony X900E at the bottom is just destroying it in this scene here, as you can clearly see. Beautiful, vibrant, gorgeous colors that are flying off the screen. I mean, it's wonderful. And I made sure to shoot this with my S6 so that nobody would try to claim that this is trickery or, you know, Sony pony magic, because again, the OLED is doing a great job. It's just contrast-wise, this is where it's at, man. The 900E is really that serious. And again, I'm looking at it right next to an OLED, and the black levels on the Sony X900E in normal content appears deeper and darker than it does on the OLED. That's not fabrication, that's just reality here. Now, what I can do is tell you that, you know, you can look at this stuff and kind of see the difference between the black levels yourself as far as like near black goes, and you're kind of seeing it right here in this scene. The near black control is still a part of the black levels, and that's something that Sony does better than OLED with the full array local dimming technology. Now, let's try to find something else here. I mean, any demo, I mean, try to find like, I guess this one, since this is the one that I use often. I'm not going to be able to make it through this full demo, but I will be able to show you a good amount of detail and clarity and things like that. And again, it looks very, very great. Now the tables have turned. You have the OLED that looks good with deep, dark contrast, but again, it's that lack of brightness and the color white that really holds the OLED back, where the warmth of the Sony X900E is making all the difference here. Now, what I think is really cool, though, is that even though the B7 wasn't able to hold its own very well against the Sony X900E, this OLED does do it a whole hell of a lot better. I mean, I'm far more impressed with this OLED than I ever was with any other OLED. But that being said, I know what OLED can and can't do. Like in scenes like this, it's way better on this TV than it was on the B7, which ABL kicked in instantly and dimmed her down to look dead. Here as well, this was another scene that the B7 struggled greatly with, and it kicked on that ABL and dimmed it the hell down to an unbearable level, where on the C7, I don't know if it's a new firmware update that did it or whatever, but this is something that, like right here, again, there's no ABL that's kicking on and destroying the image, and that's something that can be felt in normal content consistently. The C7 is brighter than the B7, so you are getting a better picture quality, and match for match, you are getting a lot closer to, you know, LED levels of brightness than you could on that entry-level OLED. So the message is this: you get what you pay for, you know, buy that step-up model, and you'll be good to go. But again, you're looking for colors and consistent brightness and you know, contrast level that's just gonna stagger you. I mean, you gotta go LED. That's just buy both if you must. For me personally, I'm going to be using my LED for gaming because it's by far superb and superior in every single way, which I'll show you that later on. But also, I mean, OLED is doing a good job with movies. I'll just use it as the movie TV. But if I had to pick between the two, it's the Sony X900E every day of the week. It's brighter, it's got deeper colors, more gradations of color. Motion processing is bar none, except for, maybe the 900F, but that even has more judder. So, I mean, really, there's something special with this TV. And again, all the enthusiasts, all the fans out there, when scenes like this hit on the Sony and they can see the warmth and the detail, they're going to try to bash it. They're going to try to call it LED garbage. But the fact of the matter is, it's a great product and it looks really, really good. And this isn't a justification. I don't really have to do that. I'm just putting this out there to really just kind of, I guess, help eye open a lot of the non-believers out there in full array local dimming technology, because it has come a very long way since its first initial arrival. I mean, to say that OLED has no challenge is inaccurate. Now I'm going to pause it here so that you can actually see in real time that when you're looking at the Sony X900E versus the OLED, yeah, you're going to see blooming compared to the OLED, which is perfect black. But again, if you're viewing it all by yourself and you're viewing it normal, that's not going to happen. Now, keep in mind, I've also adjusted the ISO a bit so that you can see the blooming a lot more, which is why the text is not clear, because this is about as bad as it could possibly get. With all the blooming in the world, all you're seeing is the center of that algorithm working, where, on other sets you'd see clouding and flash lighting in all four corners. This TV is really deep black and it has awesome contrast. I can't stress that enough, guys. But that being said, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. My name is Quantum Apotheosis, bringing you guys the apotheosis of information. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and being a part of the channel today. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.